guys. Thank you. Yes, everyone. So Camila Cabello, I guess Camila Cabello, was talking about how she was on a date and it was so boring, which is crazy, whatever. I mean, we all go on dates that might be a bore, but I feel like some of these date stories, like I love date stories because they're fun, they're interesting. Whether the story's positive or negative, it's really good. But it's really rare. I mean, you do see love stories where they talk about people that they fell in love with and it worked out from the beginning or whatever. But most of the time, the stories that you hear about with dating, usually they're negative. Not to say all of them are, but I find a lot of these dating stories are very negative. But then it's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, we all need to learn from bad dating stories. But a lot of times these stories are like so negative, and you're like, well, you know, I mean, that's what everybody talks about, right? Like most people talk about negative stories in dating, right? I mean, it's not unheard of to talk about a bad date, especially on social media. And then there's also like true crime that people talk about too. But I mean, there's all these bad dating stories, right? And I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking about that. I mean, if you had a bad dating story. I personally don't talk about my dating relationships. I just date and then see what happens and then don't say anything. But I mean, and some people, I think maybe the reason why people don't talk about positive dating situations is because if it's a positive thing, they just want to hold on to it and not really worry about people really knowing too much about it. Because at the end of the day, if you have a positive partner or a partner that works for you, you're probably not going to mention anything because you just want it to work out. And not to say that you can't have a public relationship that works out. I mean, lots of people have public, like look at David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. The people that do public relationships do very well. But it does make it a lot harder to go out with your story of a good relationship if you're constantly talking about it. But I mean, for me, if I was in a relationship, I won't say whether I'm in a relationship or not. But if I'm in a relationship and it's positive and the person wants to stream with me on social media, we'll talk about it. I mean, what's her name? What's her name? Alexis, is it Alexis Blake, the transgender person? She talks about being in a relationship and her partner's always there. And he seems really nice and they seem like they get along and they seem they're really happy, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, many people do talk about their relationship and they're happy and they share it and they love it and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually really positive. But yeah, I mean, some people talk about it and then it goes all bad, right? But in general, she seems happy. I think she's really positive. But some people will talk about it, like even like Blair White, she talks about her relationship, and they seem very very happy, right? Anyway, thank you so much. Some people talk about it and they talk about it and they're happy, right? So that's a good thing, right? We need more of that, right? Bye now, bye bye.